Okay, girls, welcome to our class. Today is Monday, September 12th. So, thank God we are here together. And our lesson today is Unit 8 from Wide Angle 3. Okay, make sure you replace your class from last week. Wednesday or Monday actually, because Wednesday was a holiday. But make sure you replace your class from Monday if you missed, because there was important information there about the last part of Unit 7 and the review, okay, of that unit. So let's take a look at this lesson from Monday so you know the homework we asked you to do. Okay, so let me just change here a little bit and show you the topics. Okay, here we are. Okay, so on Monday, September 5th, we finished Unit 7. Okay, we did pages 86 and 153. The class was recorded. You can watch the video. The problem is that you can't replace your class now watching the video. You need to schedule a replacement, okay? Here we have the topics. Do you plan things? Worries and doubts. We discussed something about it. And then we did Unit 7 review, the vocabulary. For homework, we asked we asked you to do, online practice, Unit 7.5, Unit 7 test, and some worksheets, okay? The review involves models for deductions and predictions. So here we have the supporting material and the worksheets. Okay, girls, try to update this exercise. And then if you have any questions, even after your replacement, you can send me a message. Okay, so let's go to our lesson for today. Here we are. Great. So if you have your books, open your books, please, to page 87. Let's go there. Yes, here we are. Great. So this is our unit number 8, consumption. So what comes to your mind when you see this word? Maybe shopping.
Is something like consumism.
Yes, Actually, consumption means consumo, and consumismo would be consumerism. Okay, so they are different words. Okay, so let me write them here for you. Consumerism is consumismo in Portuguese, okay? And consumption, they are like synonyms, okay? Consumption is the act of buying something. It's usually a noun, right? Just like consumerism. And it has to do with how much we buy of something, right? We can ask, for example, what is your consumption of technology? Do you buy technological devices a lot? Not so much. Okay. what is your consumption? And here we also talk a lot about consumption of internet data because we buy our internet, we make our plans, right? And we buy from an operator and they give us a certain amount of data that we can use. And when we exceed that amount, they say that our consumption is very high. So they even send us a message alerting us that we are going over the limit. And they either block our usage or they extend it, but they charge something extra. Okay, so that's according to our internet consumption. Now, consumerism is the science by itself, or it's the the effect of buying too many things or getting too many things, right? Accumulating, if I could say that, when you accumulate stuff. So, and consumerism is the science of commerce by itself, right? So, selling and buying, and this is like a cycle, okay? And then today we are going to talk about consumption and consumerism, okay? To help us understand how we get tangled in this web, let's watch a short video that will talk about consumerism. Usually when we say consumerism, it's more like here, it's more like a negative connotation, right? It's not seen as something good, right? So let's take a look at this video so we can understand. Let me share here and make sure you can see the page. Can you see that? Yeah, this is the video page. So let's take a look. It's very interesting. It's an animation of what happens with consumerism, okay? Let's turn off here.
New shiny iPhone 5. New shiny iPhone 5. New shiny iPhone 5.
The new iPhone 6.
iPhone 6.
Get yours
New
today.
iPhone 6.
New, better.
The new iPhone 10. The new iPhone 10. I buy today.
New iPhone 16.
Buy it today.
New iPhone 17.
Buy it now.
New iPhone 18.
Buy it today.
New iPhone 19.
Buy it.
iPhone 21. iPhone 23.
There's two ways.
Teacher, your microphone.
Yeah, I put it back now. So, isn't it shocking?
Yeah, I know this artist. I see another animation from him is called The Man. It's too good too.
Oh, really? Oh, how nice. Very
It's
interesting.
about it's about the same.
The same situation, the same character.
Yes.
So it's really shocking. When I saw this the first time, I was like, my goodness, this is crazy, right? So, and this is, in other words, what happens, right? We get so entangled in this buying the newest model that we forget all about the main things in life, and we spend money all the time, right? It's like a chain. We keep investing in those things, and then after some time, we don't have money enough to do all other things, and we get very disappointed because they're always launching a new model, right? So how do you see that, Rebecca? It's very shocking, isn't it? Yeah, we should settle
Yeah.
for, yeah, it is very shocking. So this is what this unit is all about. It's something that is meant to help us open our eyes to what really matters. Okay, so let's take a look at this picture. Okay, can you see that? Look, what do you see in this picture? It looks like a man trying out something new, right? Um, I don't know, but it looks like a fitting room. The ones we find in these clothing stores when we want to try something out to see if it's good. We go into those fitting rooms and we try them. Then there are mirrors. We check. We see if we like it or not. So it looks like a fitting room to me. But I don't know if it's a fitting room or if it's just his own apartment and he just bought something new, like a tie or a suit, and he's checking it out. So let's see. There are some questions about the picture. The first one, what kind of consumer is this man? Don't know if you can tell it just by looking at the picture. Do you think he likes buying clothes? Probably, right? Just looking at the picture, it's difficult to tell, right? But he seems to enjoy looking good and buying new clothes. So, how do the media and advertising influence us? They do influence us a lot, right? Even though we may not admit it, or we think, oh, but I don't really watch TV so much, so they don't get me. But somehow there is advertising everywhere on the cell phone, right? Whenever you are searching for something, there is an ad, a pop-up window. If you're using your social media network, you will find some advertising there too. So it's everywhere, really, everywhere. So it has some influence. Of course, we can just ignore them, right? But there is always this memory. We always remember what we saw, and because our visual memory is stronger than our auditory memory. So we tend to keep those things longer in our memory. Now, here, in what ways can consumption make people feel disappointed? That's a good question.
It can be like the video, the man who buys a new phone, and some months after coming a new phone, he feels sad.
Yeah, absolutely useless, right? The phone renders to be useless because they already have a new model in the market, and you go like, oh, but I bought this one. What's the matter? And then the other one is better, has more features, gives you more tools to do things that the other one you have doesn't. So you go like, oh, I have to have the new one. So it's crazy, isn't it? So it's very disappointing, really. It's really disappointing. So let's take a look at the picture, and also the photographer who took the picture, what the photographer has to say and everything. So let's see which questions he or she answers. So let's take a look.
In this photo, a man named Vincenzo Guerrero looks at himself in the mirror as he puts on his new tie. He is dressing up in his room for his wedding with his wife-to-be, Virginia. I took this photo in Palermo, Italy. Media and advertising persuade people to buy something through techniques that can be either rational, irrational, or a combination of both. Media and advertising can create significant memories of a product. These memories are created because an ad succeeds at making us feel something, whether it's good or bad. Our emotional response can have a profound effect on how we think and the choices we make. Consumption can make us feel disappointed because As consumers, we compare our lives to lifestyles we see in the media that we find attractive. We create a vision of ourselves living this idealized lifestyle and then behave in ways that help us to realize the vision. The problem is that we are aspiring to something that the vast majority of us cannot possibly achieve.
All right. You see? Exactly what we were saying. Hi, Manu. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Welcome. It's nice to see you, Manu. We are talking about.
Hello.
Hi, dear. We are talking about consumption. This is the beginning of Unit 8, okay? So if you see here, we're doing page, let me check out the page number. Oh, yeah, it doesn't say here, but it seems to be page 80 something. Yeah. Let me check it out here. Page 87, okay? So this is what we are doing. There you go, okay? So we discussed a little bit about consumption. We saw a video, and now we were watching the video from the photographer who took this picture, okay? So we are going to watch the video one more time, but without any sound, okay? Just to understand what he is saying, okay? So let's try to do that. So this is the name of the photographer who took this picture, right? And by the way, black and white pictures are really nice, aren't they? I don't know about you. I don't know if you like those pictures, but I do. Do you like black and white pictures?
Yes, it seems to be old.
Yeah, that's true. We get that feeling, right? So that was by Gianni Cipriano, great photographer. So here he says, in this photo, a man named Vincenzo Correro, a guy from Italy, right? Because Gianni Cipriano is Italian. Okay, so he takes a lot of pictures there. Vincenzo, actually. This is how we pronounce that. Vincenzo Correro. So he looks at himself in the mirror as he puts on his new tie. So far, we are correct. So here, like we said before, it's not a fitting room in a store. No, this is his own place, I think, his room. Yeah, because here Gianni says he's dressing up in his room for his wedding with his wife-to-be, Virginia. So he's getting dressed to get married. So he's dressing up for his wedding. What a nice opportunity, right? And that's why he looks so pleased, so happy with the way he looks, right? Because he is dressing up for his wedding. Okay. So where did Gianni take this picture? In Palermo, Italy. Yes, usually all his pictures are in Italy. Question number 1. How do the media and advertising influence us? Let's see what he says. So look, he says here, media and advertising persuade people to buy something. Do you understand the meaning of the verb persuade? No? So, to persuade is the same as persuadir in Portuguese. So, it's like convince, right? They convince people to buy something. That is the function of media and advertising, all right? They make you believe you need that product, okay? So look, they do that through techniques that can be either rational, something that you are conscious of, aware of, or irrational, something that you are unconscious of, something that you don't even notice, like subliminal message. Okay, so that's the difference between rational or irrational. Or they use a combination of both. So these guys who work with marketing and advertising, they use a lot of techniques to promote a product or an idea. Okay. Look, just what we were saying before, media and advertising can create significant memories of a product. Yes, that's really strong. So these memories are created because an ad succeeds here. Ad is the short for advertisement, okay? So an ad succeeds at making us feel something, whether it's good or bad. So everything is involved in an advertisement. They put elements there that create some kind of reaction, mental, emotional, and even physical, depending on the ad. But the influence is very strong, okay? Look here, our emotional response can have a profound effect on how we think and the choices we make. Choices in Portuguese is the same as escolhas, okay? So of course, if the advertisement has effect on my emotions, it will also have a consequence in the choices I make. Okay? There is a kind of influence there, and it's very strong. Next, in what ways can consumption make people feel disappointed? here he says, consumption can make us feel disappointed because look, as consumers, we compare our lives to lifestyles we see in the media. So we also have a lot of access to pictures online, Instagram, videos. So all this exposure makes us feel depressed, kind of, right? Because we see a lot of people doing something or using something and we are not able to. So we go like, oh my God, I'm not happy because I don't have that. Okay, so that's a way for us to feel very disappointed. Okay. So here, this is what they say. We compare our lives to lifestyles we see in the media, but these lifestyles from the media, they are fake in reality. None of that is true. Okay. So usually things that we find attractive. Okay. So what happens? We create a vision of ourselves living this idealized lifestyle. We tend to picture ourselves there. We tend to see ourselves living that. And it's really scary because we can't do all those things, but we imagine ourselves there somehow. And then we behave in ways that help us to realize the vision. We try to change our reality a little bit if we can, just to behave like that. So it's funny. This happens a lot here in Brazil because Brazilians, they watch a lot of movies from the US and even other countries, and we tend to copy or try to behave like they do, but their style of living, their lifestyle is completely different from ours. But here in Brazil, we put ourselves in that situation. In our minds, we imagine, oh, I want to have this American lifestyle. So we start doing things, buying things, and behaving like Americans do. It's so much so that we need to learn English to have a better job. Here in Brazil and in many countries, English is essential. So by learning the language, we also start consuming that culture. Okay? So it is something sometimes unconscious, but it can be harmful because we try to live the same way Americans do or English people do. And it's not our reality. And that makes us feel very frustrated. Okay. The problem is that we are aspiring, look, we are aspiring to something that the vast majority of us cannot possibly achieve. So, yeah, that's the hardest part. Okay. So this is a big lesson on how we behave as human beings in relation to advertisement, media, the media, and consumerism. Okay, girls. So my idea here is not to make you feel bad, but just to help you think about, reflect upon the way we make our choices. Okay, so here we have a few things to discuss. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, we've done the video and now we understand all the video. We can watch this again with the audio and with better understanding. Okay, guys. So before we move on to activity number 1, let's watch the video one more time. Okay, I almost forgot. Let me turn off the audio.
In this photo, a man named Vincenzo Guerrero looks at himself in the mirror as he puts on his new tie. He is dressing up in his room for his wedding with his wife-to-be, Virginia. I took this photo in Palermo, Italy. Media and advertising persuade people to buy something through techniques that can be either rational, irrational, or a combination of both. Media and advertising can create significant memories of a product. These memories are created because an ad succeeds at making us feel something, whether it's good or bad. Our emotional response can have a profound effect on how we think and the choices we make. Consumption can make us feel disappointed because as consumers, we compare our lives to lifestyles we see in the media that we find attractive. We create a vision of ourselves living this idealized lifestyle and then behave in ways that help us to realize the vision. The problem is that we are aspiring to something that the vast majority of us cannot possibly achieve.
Okay, all right, people. All right, so let's relax a little bit right after all this shock of reality. Let's say, think about the things you spend your money on every month. How much do they cost? Complete the table below and then compare your expenses with the group. We don't need to write the prices or how much money we spend, but we could try to select the things we spend most money on. Like, what do we usually spend more money on? Cell phones, entertainment, food, clothes, education, internet, electricity, transportation. Here I would put health, because here in Brazil, we need to have a health plan or health insurance. If we don't, we have problems. We are in trouble because public hospitals, they don't work properly. We need to have, unfortunately, we need to have a good health insurance plan. So, and that's very expensive. So here, where they say other, I would put health. Okay. So I guess we could like number the items here in relation to how much we spend on them. Okay. So here I would put health and food. They're equal in my case. We spent a lot of money on that. Cell phone, I don't buy cell phones like that. It's like once every 2 or 3 years, even more. I don't know about you. How often do you buy cell phones?
I just buy new cell phones when the other one is broken.
Mm,
So it's
very good.
it's a little rare because I take care of my things.
Good. Very good. Very good. So this is something really personal. You don't need to share. You can think about it. Internet is something we spend a lot of money on too, because we need to have access to things so we can either interact with people or even work. So we kind of spend money on internet. Transportation, yeah, if you don't have a job, you need to spend money on transportation. If you have a job, then it's a chance that you may have your bus tickets paid for by your company, so you receive the transportation there. But if you don't, if you're still a student, then you need to administer your transportation expenses. Education is also something super expensive in Brazil, right? I would say that would be number one or number two. Okay. So health, food, education, entertainment, in my case, now it's zero. I don't spend money on that now, really, but it's up to you. You can put something here, whether it's number 3 or number 4. Okay. Transportation is 0 because the school pays for my transportation, so I don't spend money on that. Electricity either, because I live with my mother, and so she can pay for that. I help with other things. I help with the food, for example. So, but she pays for electricity. Clothes, 0. I don't buy new clothes. So this, and this, they are like 0 to me. Yeah. So where do you like to do most of your shopping? That's another thing to consider. Here we have online, from large department stores, from small local stores, at designer stores, at discount stores, or at big malls. Where do you usually buy things?
I think is shopping, or I don't know how to say this in English, but calçadão.
Oh, okay. We can call them
Calçadão de Campo
discount.
Grande.
Yeah. Calçadão, Campo Grande is like the Campo Grande main street where you have those stores. So we can call them discount stores. Okay. So discount stores, big malls. Malls are shopping centers here in Brazil. Okay. So big malls, we can consider that. Let's
E também tem no final do ano o Calçadão das Malhas em Caxias, que também é ótimo.
Where?
Calçadão das Malhas em Caxias, Mercadão das Malhas.
Ah, okay. That's another example of discount stores. Because things are cheaper, right? There.
Yes, too much cheaper.
Yeah, really. That's true. I have never been there, but I heard about it. And I know that a lot of people go there to buy things.
Super recomendo.
Ah, how nice. That's good, Kawane. Very nice. The name is Calçadão das Marcas.
É em Caxias,
Ah,
se eu não me
okay.
engano.
Okay, all right.
Com o dinheiro que eu compraria um vestido, eu comprei 3. Nossa.
Wow, amazing. Oh, that's nice. And some people, they like buying things online. So we can also, yeah, okay. So online, discount stores or big malls, okay. Designer stores are very expensive, so I never buy things there. And local stores either, because it's very, usually it's more expensive than malls and discount stores. So when I buy something. All right, guys. Now, moving on to the next page, because we don't have much time left. Let's take a look at the beginning of Unit 8.1. It's the wrong size. The sentence they highlighted as the title. We usually say that when we go to a clothing store and we ask to try something on and we don't feel good. It's either too small or too big. Then we say, hey, it's the wrong size. Okay? So let's take a look at the first one here. Look, when you buy clothes, how important are these things for you? Number these factors in order. We have here price, quality, fashion, designer, or comfort. Which one is more important?
I don't know. It's like price, quality, and fashion.
Okay, price number 1, quality and fashion. Okay. Comfort would be what?
The last one.
Comfort, the last one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. 4 and 5. All right.
I love use high heels and they never comfort.
Do you understand the meaning of comfort?
Comfort, I think, is the same as comfort. Comfort.
So the idea here of comfort is if you feel good in that piece of clothing. For example, suppose you try on some jeans. You want to buy new jeans, and then you go to a store and you ask the salesperson to try a pair of jeans that you like. When you put it on, you need to see how you feel, right? If you feel good, if it's comfortable, oh, that's a good point, right? So that's the meaning of comfort.
Oh, now I understand.
Yes.
Comfort is too much important.
Very important. Yeah. Especially when you buy clothes or shoes, right? So I would say comfort would be number 2 or number 1. Quality would be number 3. Fashion would be number 4. And then the last one, designer. Do you know the meaning of designer?
It's about the designer clothes.
Yes, it's like in Portuguese, marca. Okay? So if the thing you were buying has a label, it's usually more expensive, right? So designer clothes are expensive. Can you give me some examples of designer clothes here in Brazil?
Here in Brazil,
Yeah, it can be any designer clothes, okay? Things that we buy here in Brazil and they are considered designer clothes.
like Gucci,
Sorry?
Louis Vuitton.
Yes, very good. Gucci, Balenciaga. I don't know the names, right? But let me see here. I can get this information on Google. So you can see some designer clothes. I never buy them. Let's see. Okay, I have the site here. Look, this is called the Trend Spotter. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, here we have 40 top designer brands you need to know. So here we have, okay. So the first one, Louis Vuitton. That's crazy. That's really crazy. They are usually known for their bags and luggage. So everything from Louis Vuitton is very expensive. Next one, Gucci. Okay. And here the site is interesting because he tells a little bit of the history of the brand. Okay. Look, Balenciaga. Yeah. Okay. And the site even has a link that takes you to the site if you want to check out some prices. I don't want to do it. It's too shocking. Dior. It's the male stylist, right? Dior. Christian Dior. Prada. Okay, can you see that, girls? Look. Salvatore Ferragamo. Stella McCartney. It's usually menswear. Fendi. Saint Laurent or Yves Saint Laurent. Actually, the pronunciation is Saint Laurent because it's French, right? So, Saint Laurent. Givenchy. A lot of French brands here. Givenchy. Balmain. I don't even know this one. Also French. And so many others. Okay, guys. There's Kenzo. Okay. so many other brands. So these are designer clothes. Oh man, this is horrible. Oh, this one I know, Giorgio Armani. Oh my God. The suits from Giorgio Armani are beautiful. Wow. Anyway, here we have a lot of brands. If you want, I can share the link to the site so you can take a look at this later on. Okay. So back to our book here, we saw the meaning of designer. Okay. In our case, I think designer is the least important thing. So back here to activity number 2, let's match the words and phrases. Okay, let's do the match here. This is a little bit of vocabulary. Here we go. So we have here impress, and then we should find a complement. Who do we want to impress? When we dress something different, when we go to a party, we want to impress someone, usually it's people, right? We want to impress our friends, our family. We want people to see that we are well dressed, okay? The latest. Usually we use this expression when we talk about the latest fashion, okay? So something that is very, very hot right now. People are using it in Europe, in North America, and in France especially. And then here in Brazil, fashion companies, they tend to import and sell to Brazilians. Mix and match. Mix and match is when we mix different pieces of clothing and we can find a good match with that. It's like a mixture, right? We can, for example, wear a pair of jeans from Hilfiger and a blouse or a shirt from, let's say, Giorgio Armani. So it's a mix of brands, but they match somehow. They look good. So mix and match. Try to exchange something. When you buy something that, or when you get as a gift, something that doesn't fit you, you have to try and exchange, right? This is something common. Follow. Usually we follow trends. Trend is the same as tendência in Portuguese, okay? So follow trend. Keep within the budget. Keep within the budget means ficar dentro do orçamento, okay? So when we buy something, we have to see if it's within our budget. We cannot buy something just because we want, right? We need to see. Ask for a refund when you want your money back. And here, brand name. It's the name of the designer, okay? So let's check the answers. Okay, everything correct. Now, just to finish, they want us to use these expressions here in number 3. I know we are over time, so I'm gonna ask you to try and do this activity for homework, okay? You should complete these statements using words from exercise number 2, okay? And then we check next class. All right, people. So let's see what we did today. Look, today we started Unit 8. Yeah, there is a lot of vocabulary there. So the unit is about consumption. So we had some shopping vocabulary, okay? And we are going to see this next class on Wednesday, right? For homework, you can start online practice unit 8.1, just the beginning, just the vocabulary, okay? What I really want you to do is to schedule your replacement for last class, okay? So you can get the final part of Unit 7. All right, girls? So I will post the link to the site I showed you here on Google Classroom, okay? So you can check it out later. So thank you very much for coming today, girls. I hope to see you on Wednesday because this lesson has a lot of vocabulary, okay? So thank you, Kawane, Manu, Rebecca. See you Wednesday, okay? Don't forget. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice week.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Manu. See you.